chapter 15, and just to kind of get going on that a little bit, we'll touch up more on 16, a little bit more of this coming week, probably by Monday for sure. We're looking at, as far as the intro classes, doing the meetings here. Typically, we're going to do that on a Tuesday and Thursday around this time. So I will have these posted up for you in the morning, and they'll be going on for a whole day the following day. I like to do it in Canvas because a lot of people are doing things that are, of course, having to go get groceries and foods and stuff like that. And with everything going on, especially with us coming from Greg Abbott about staying home, it's making it kind of difficult for a lot of people. So not too much in favor of doing a Zoom conference because of the fact that, it's only for that one period of time and that's it. So my video here is going to be basically looking at towards showing you and getting with you guys on the chapter and the PowerPoints, and if I have on other videos that I will post up, maybe do some demos here at my house, probably on my truck or something like that. But we'll kind of get through this here a little bit here. So typically, like I said, I'll have them posted up on Tuesday all the way to Wednesday, or sorry, Monday to Wednesday, or to Tuesday rather, 11:59 p.m. That way you have plenty of time to just log in and go into the module section. We're in module 3 right now, so the videos will be posted on module 3 for you to access and use and kind of go over and over again. But and then they'll close, because then we're going to move on to the next section, just like any other lecture would do in a face-to-face class. So chapter 15 deals with service information again. On another note, I did contact AllData to find out some information about trying to get access to AllData during these dire circumstances. And a representative indicated to me and told me that they're trying to get something implemented where the students can go in and put in their username and password to be able to log into AllData remotely from your home computer or smartphone. So once I get the email from that, then I will come to the home page and I put it on my announcements on the home page that everybody can log at. I'll give you a link to go into AllData, and you'll be able to actually input your username and password, and you'll be able to actually go in there, and you'll be able to have access to AllData for information. So you got stuff in AllData and information, of course, on our worksheet that we have. I will be posting that up, and as soon as you get the email confirmation from AllData that the students are able to log into it, then you'll be able to do the assignment still, just as if we were at school. So that will be forthcoming, so check your homepage for that. So vehicle service codes and information, owner's manuals and records. These are some of the things that we look for. Of course, people need to look at their owner's manual periodically because there's things that happen that they may need to look up information in their owner's manual. So lubrication guides are another thing, which gives us the hoisting location, lubrication points, the grease and oil specifications, what type of fluids your vehicle calls for and takes. This can all be found within inside there in your owner's manual. The other thing that we look at, of course, and we deal with is service manuals. Before we used to have all kinds of service manuals. Now it's all electronic now, pretty much. And most of us had an opportunity already to get into AllData, to look into that at the very beginning part when we had to look up specifications for like torque. Every time we pull the wheels off, especially in that second week, when we had to get information. When we did our brake inspection and we did our suspension inspection, we had an opportunity to do that. So once again, this is kind of a repetitive thing that we're going to be looking at doing. Plus, before spring break, I think most of you all already in your other classes had an opportunity to look up some information in AllData. So you're basically using service information. So this kind of broadens up a little bit with that, and we're going to get into that a little bit more, especially when we get into having access to AllData. So they told me between 24 to 48 hours I should hear something back from them with an email. And as soon as I do that, I will post that onto my homepage link, and you'll be able to look at that. Okay. Maintenance and lubrication information, engine information, gives us information about disassembling the engine, remove and install certain components within the engine, torque specifications, torque sequence, which is important when you're doing engine repair work, which you will probably see that later on when you take the course, and you have me for that course. So we do a lot of that in that particular course. Transmissions, heating and air conditioning systems, engine performance. We've got scan tools, data, wire schematics for electrical to be looked at, symbols, troubleshooting charts and procedures on how to do certain things. We can get all that from our electronic service information. And of course, there's always an advantage of using hard copy versus electronic copy. With a hard copy with a big old manual, what we used to deal with, bulky manuals, what we used to have. And now it's a matter of a few sheets of paper, maybe up to 23, 25 sheets of paper to do a service procedure. So it is an advantage to have electronic service information that you're able to print out and take with you on the vehicle to look at certain things. A couple of things that we do look at, of course, it's important, are labor guide manuals. And labor guide manuals help us to actually find out information on what we're diagnosing, and from that information we're able to make a calculation of what it takes to do a particular job. A brake job, for instance, maybe it take 2.0 hours for that. Well, what does that mean? That means for an average technician it should take about 2 hours to do the job. If you can do the job under 2 hours, you're going to get paid 2 hours. If you do the job at 3 hours, you're still going to get paid 2 hours. So it's a standard that ASE governs when they make these particular service information procedures, and of course that changes by car manufacturer. Domestics and imports, totally different labor guides. I will say this though, that imports labor time is higher than domestics. So in other words, imports pay more than domestic vehicles because of their labor, because of their manufacture of the vehicles, by the way. So a couple of things that we look at also is very important are TSBs, or technical service bulletins, which help us, enable us to find out any symptom problems that we may have related with the vehicle, that we could probably, if we go into TSBs, it may tell us exactly what to do with that. So that's why it's so important to look up TSBs before you do any type of repair on a vehicle. In a dealership environment, from my experience, that's the first thing they're going to ask you. Did you look up TSBs first before you decide to come to me and ask me a question about a particular problem you have on the vehicle? So always look and check TSBs with symptom-related issues. Recalls and campaigns, that's another thing that we look at on page 123. Kind of be mindful in that if there's any recalls that we get. Customers typically get notified via email. For sure, a letter in the mail will come into your home indicating that there's a recall that requires immediate attention. Please don't ignore that. Please make sure that you find an opportunity to take it in with your letter in hand, and they will look up any TSBs or recalls that are related with your vehicle. Now, typically what they do now is the service advisors, they have a scanner. So they can actually, when you take your vehicle into the service drive, they have that scan tool, a little scanner that they can scan your VIN number, the vehicle identification number, which we're going to get into next, and they can actually check to see if there's any recalls on your vehicle, which is pretty unique. It's new technology that they're using, and they'll let you know if there's any recalls that require immediate attention. So that's another quick service that they have available, and pretty much every dealership has that now. Of course, they have hotline services as well that technicians deal with anytime there's a serious issue that they can't figure out. Of course, those are the engineers that work on the vehicle. So dealerships have a lot of access to electronic service information, not to mention phone call information through technical support that they deal with. So, they always have a leading edge and cutting edge on technology before anybody else within our industry gets a hold of. So, if there's any questions on this, regarding this, email me please on my link. If you can, like I said, keep an eye on your Canvas shell, because I will be posting up some information on that, especially regarding all data usage, which within 24 to 48 hours, it should be there. So again, be safe out there. Try and limit your travel. Again, only as an on-needed basis only. And I will be getting ready to post up another video on Chapter 16 on vehicle identification and emission control systems. So you all take care and have a good evening.